2024 alone, the public debt level rose by over 45%, and it came with a lot of associated risks around debt service and the likes. Debt in itself is not a concern, it's not a problem. However, what we do with the debt and how we manage it around the liquidity of the government is what becomes a concern for most analysts. If we look at our debt to GDP as of 2024, you see it's around just a bit over 40%. Comparing this with so many of the benchmarks that we have around from IMF, from the ECOWAS, and various institutional benchmarks, you'll discover that Nigeria appears to be in a very comfortable situation. So looking at this alone might give a very incomplete information around our debt level. Debt in itself is not paid back by GDP. It is paid back by revenue and various other liquidity inflow for the government. As a result, the NESG came up with the debt burden index, not just to analyze the debt level, but to try to look into how this debt is growing over time and how it is pressuring the various line of liquidity for the government. So as at 2024, Nigeria's debt to GDP stands at just over 40%. The DBI reveals that 2014-2015 marked the onset of elevated pressure in terms of debt burden in Nigeria since the debt relief of 2005. As at 2023, the debt burden index apexed at 84 points compared to over 40% in terms of debt to GDP. This shows a very wide margin between what our usual metric is and the actual pressure that the debt level is putting on the economy's liquidity. However, in 2024, we saw a tentative reversal. We saw that following the subsidy removal and the foreign exchange gain as a result of the unification of the foreign exchange market, we saw improved revenue, and as a result of the improved revenue, we saw improvement in the DBI. So the debt burden index will serve as a continuous monitoring tool for our debt level, and at the same time, it's going to serve as an early warning system for us to track how far our debt level is pressuring various liquidity in the economy.